The search for answers rarely begins in a library or a laboratory. More often, it begins in the quiet corners of ordinary life, in moments so simple that they almost pass unnoticed. It begins when a child gazes into the night sky and innocently asks where the stars end, only to discover that even the wisest adults cannot offer a complete answer. It begins when a teenager wonders why some friendships last forever, while others disappear without explanation. It begins when a parent watches a newborn child take its first breath and silently asks what kind of future awaits this tiny life. It begins when someone stands beside the grave of a loved one, searching for words that no language has ever fully created. These moments remind us that the greatest questions are not reserved for scholars or philosophers. They belong to everyone. Every person carries them, whether they speak them aloud or hide them deep within the heart. Some questions arrive suddenly like lightning, changing the course of a life in a single instant. Others grow quietly over many years, becoming faithful companions that follow us through every season of life. We often believe that age will bring certainty, yet many older people will quietly admit that while they have gained experience, they have not escaped mystery. Instead, they have learned to live beside it. The questions they asked as children may have changed their appearance, but they have never truly disappeared. They simply became deeper, more personal, and more meaningful. A young child asks, "What will I become?" An adult asks, "Have I become the person I hope to be?" A child wonders why the sky is blue, while an older soul wonders why beauty can exist alongside sorrow. The questions evolve because we evolve, and every chapter of life reveals another layer of the unknown. It is tempting to believe that somewhere there exists a person who possesses every answer, someone whose wisdom leaves no room for doubt. Yet history tells a different story. The greatest thinkers often ended their lives with more questions than they had at the beginning. The more they explored the universe, the more they realized how vast it truly was. Every scientific discovery uncovered another mystery, waiting patiently behind it. Every philosophical argument opened another path leading into uncertainty. Every spiritual journey revealed that faith often grows strongest, not in certainty, but in trust. Perhaps true wisdom is not the absence of questions, but the courage to live peacefully with them. There is a quiet strength in admitting, "I do not know." Those 4 words have inspired countless discoveries because they leave the door open for curiosity to enter. Pride claims to possess every answer, but humility continues searching. That is why humanity has continued to progress from one generation to the next. Someone looked at the darkness and wondered if it could be illuminated. Someone looked at the sky and imagined flying. Someone looked at disease and refused to accept that suffering must always win. Every achievement that transformed civilization began with a question that seemed impossible to answer. Curiosity became the bridge between ignorance and understanding. Yet even after building cities, crossing oceans, walking on the moon, and sending machines beyond the edges of our solar system, humanity still returns to the same timeless mysteries. What gives life meaning? Why does love have the power to heal wounds that medicine cannot touch? Why do acts of kindness echo in our memories long after wealth and success have faded? Why do some moments last only seconds, yet remain unforgettable for an entire lifetime? These are questions that no instrument can measure and no equation can completely solve. They belong to the invisible world within us, where emotions, memories, hopes, fears, and dreams quietly shape who we become. Perhaps that is why every human story is unique. We may share the same planet, breathe the same air, and watch the same sunrise, yet each person experiences life through a different heart. No 2 journeys are exactly alike, and no single answer can perfectly fit every soul. The beauty of existence may lie in this endless diversity of perspective. We are all walking through the same mysterious world, But each of us sees it through different eyes, learns different lessons, and discovers different truths. Maybe the unanswered questions are not empty spaces waiting to be filled, but open windows inviting us to keep exploring. They remind us that life is not a puzzle to be solved once and forgotten, but a living story that unfolds one page at a time. Every sunrise writes a new sentence, every decision shapes a new chapter, and every encounter leaves behind a lesson that could never have been learned in any other way. As long as there are hearts capable of wondering, minds willing to imagine, and souls brave enough to seek meaning beyond what can be seen, the journey will continue.